Hi everyone, it's Sebastian. After being speaking and teaching for years now around sexuality, tantra, and relationship as main words to describe it, I realize how one central point and the most important one, I haven't been acknowledging it enough. And we may speak about our relationship with the other one, how to be a better man or a better lover, how to set up boundaries and express and respect them, how to be the goddess, blah, 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 all those things. But I remind this quote from Sadhguru, which goes something like around if you don't like to be alone, it must mean that you are in bad company. And I'm saying that because I've been seeing a lot how do we don't acknowledge and how we don't work enough with the most important relationship between all the relationships we'll have in this life. This only one that was here from the beginning and will be till the end. This relationship with myself. And when I say that, it sounds like, yeah, sure, easy, but I just try to be honest with myself and honestly, for many years in my life, this voice in my head, which is my mind, my ego, which is myself speaking to myself, is been the most nasty ever. I would never speak to people in the way I'm speaking inside my head. When something goes wrong, I'm speaking quite in a very bad way to myself often. At least in the past, less and less, working on that, but still. Like when I do something which I know is not right, like if I know I should do that and I do something else out of either laziness or wanting pleasure, whatever the reason, how much I blame and fucking criticize myself. Like, I will not speak to no one like this. Ever. It must be a fucking bad enemy, like a nasty enemy I want to damage. If not, to my friend, I never speak like that. I never blame and criticize my friends in the way I do it with myself. How is this possible? How can the person which is definitely the most important in my whole life, myself, how can I speak so badly to myself? How can I deteriorate and damage in such a way the most important relationship ever? The only one that will be lasting for sure. So I've been trying to develop a way and an approach to that. How can I better that? How can I be nicer to myself? Because the way I'm speaking inside, the way I'm speaking to myself, this ongoing voice, will be the base of how I will behave with the world. The way I treat everyone is a reflection of that voice. The way I criticize or embrace people in this life is a reflection of that voice. Always. Is nothing less and nothing more than that. If I hate myself for doing something, I will definitely blame anyone doing it outside. If I accept myself in doing things, I will most probably be able to accept them in the outer world. So what can we do? Imagine. Imagine that this voice inside you, imagine that your mind, your ego, is always speaking to your little son or your little daughter. How would I speak to this little girl? Let's imagine that I did something that I'm condemned. I did something I know it's wrong, which is kind of the harshest context possible. I did something I knew it's wrong, and I still did it. My God! Normally, in the past at least, I would have said a lot of criticizing, blaming, self judging, and pushing down, and blah blah blah. What if I consider myself as my daughter? How would I speak to a little girl about what she did wrong? Most probably, I will not shout at her. I will not criticize. I will not insult. I will not push down. That's the base. I will not push down. I will probably try to make understand like, look, we know this was not right, blah blah blah. But not, what the fuck did you do? No. So as I've been doing with myself, and I encourage even my clients and friends when the topic come about, check how are you speaking to yourself? Are you kind inside your head or not? And realize that what you want to give in the world, So let's speak about how to build a business, be a better lover, blah, 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 anything. Whatever you want to bring in the world will start inside. So I really encourage you, check, look, listen to that voice inside your head. Witness for a while this voice. And if it is not like how you would speak to a little girl or boy, maybe you want to readjust, because this is ultimately your message to the world.